Now, a Canadian helium exploration company has today provided a lift for the London Stock Exchange. Pulsar Helium has launched on the junior AIM market, a vote of confidence in the market, which has suffered a series of recent withdrawals. It plans to seek European investors as it tries to deal with the worldwide shortage of helium. Well, let's speak to Thomas Abraham James. He's the president and chief executive of co-founder of Pulsar Helium. Very good afternoon to you, Thomas. Let's just start with why London? Why have you chosen London?
Demand, to be honest, is that really it was London calling, you could say. So we certainly had a number of institutions, a number of investors that wanted to see the company dual listed, and it was so compelling that we certainly, we went for it. And we see today, we had our first day of trading today, over 1 million shares are traded, so significant volumes there as well. So it really just further justifies the decision that we made, and we believe in London, and it's certainly bearing fruit already.
It is interesting, of course, because I'm sure many viewers at home will know that the London Stock Exchange has been under a bit of pressure in recent times. Firms deciding not to launch here in London, if you like. Is this in part access to the European markets?
Look, I think so. For us, the ability for our investors, we certainly have quite a lot of people in the UK and Europe. We did look at other exchanges as well, but for us, it was a very easy choice to come across to London to join the AIM exchange. And that is the ability for people in Europe to be able to participate in our stock. And so in company with our dual listing in Canada. So yes, definitely for the European investors, London works.
Okay, well, let's talk to you about helium. What do you guys do? You're a helium company. You obviously sell helium around the world. Where is it used?
Helium's the commodity that nobody really knows that we completely rely upon, to be honest. So we always talk about party balloons, but that's about 5% of market share and a bit of a waste of a very valuable and scarce product. But it's all about semiconductors. To make semiconductors, you need liquid helium. For an MRI scanner, you need to have helium. To make fiber optic cables, you need helium. For a space rocket to launch, you need helium. And what's happened is that global supply for the past decade it's really been very fragile. There's been a huge shortage, and we've seen the price of helium go through the roof. And what that's really created is this new industry, which is what Pulsar is all about, and that's primary helium, looking for helium that is not associated with hydrocarbons, because typically helium is a byproduct of the production for natural gas. But that's not what we do. We look for helium in the ground where it's the primary economic driver. And really our ambition and why we exist is to go out there and to bring stability to the global helium industry, so that industry is able to, with their manufacturing, factor in to say, okay, we can get product. Whereas for the past 10 years, they don't know if they can get it. And if they can, just how expensive is it going to be as well? So huge demand, and it's mostly driven by the tech industry.
And that demand, to a degree, Thomas, is being driven also by things like the war in Ukraine.
It has. So Russia is a producer of helium. So obviously with the sanctions against Russia, so we're not seeing any supply coming out there, particularly across to the States. So our main project is in the USA, which is the world's largest market for helium. And also helium is notoriously difficult to transport. It doesn't like being stored for long periods of time. So actually jurisdiction where the project is extremely important. So to have our key project in Minnesota right by the biggest market in the world is ideal, and is another box tick for this strategic resource.
Just very finally, Thomas, I know you kind of jested a little earlier about helium balloons, but should we be concerned that the cost of pumping up a balloons could become a bit more expensive as demand is as high as you say it is?
Well, it is the case. I do have a young daughter myself, and it's a bit eye-watering now when you go out to see what the price of those helium balloons are. But genuinely, it's a non-renewable resource. It does go straight out of our atmosphere, and considering how much we're reliant on it for the computer I'm talking on you now and everything else is tech, I really genuinely think that we shouldn't be wasting it on balloons as we have been. Fascinating stuff.
Thomas, thank you very much indeed for your time. That's Thomas Abraham James, the President, Chief Executive and co-founder of Pulsar Helium that has just launched on the London Stock Exchange. Thank you for your time. You're watching Business.